Hey everybody, I am Diandra with the Phone Sex Dollhouse. I'm here to answer your questions about working from home as a phone sex operator. If you're looking for a way to make some extra money from home, if you're looking for a way to make some extra money for the holidays, Christmas is coming up, all of the fun holidays, holiday trips. If you need a way to make some extra money, guys, I have the perfect work at home job that is safe, is anonymous, is easy to do because you do it on your phone from home and you get to decide when you log on to take phone calls. And if you're thinking, I don't know what to say, I've got you, no problem. You're going to visit me right here. You're going to grab some of these ebooks, you're going to grab the trainings. Hell, grab the package with every single ebook, with everything. And if you want to meet with me one on one, I do have training packages too. I've got 3 training packages where we can meet one on one. One of them is just one session that is called the pregame training session. Then I have the happy hour with 2 one on one sessions and all the ebooks. And then I have the after party where we're going to do 4 one on one sessions of 1 hour long, plus all of the ebooks that I have. So I've got you covered. If you've ever wanted to know how to become a phone sex operator, if you've ever wondered about it, I've got you. I have everything that you need. You can go ahead and join my newsletter as well. And again, I've got that one on one training sessions, all of those packages and whatnot. You can go to either of those 2 links for that. So feel free to drop your questions down in the chat, guys. I'm here to answer them. I'm here to let you know whatever it is you want to know. So feel free to ask them. Feel free. All right. That was interesting. I heard that too. But, anyways, guys, let's go ahead and get started with a couple of questions. Ask me your questions. Let me know, what do you want to know about being a phone sex operator? What do you want to know about how to get started? Um, Go ahead and drop them in there, guys. Tell me, what are your questions? Okay, so one thing that I am asking, last time I asked Google, I looked on Google and I asked, what are some of the most searched PSO questions? The biggest one is, how do you get started? Right? So, how do you get started as PSO? The best way to get started is going to go here. I will also put all of these links down in the description. Feel free to go down into the description, guys, and and go here, check it out, check out the options, check out the one on one sessions, check out the ebooks. And that is going to be the best way to get started. But really, the best way to get started is going to be to do some of those trainings, y'all. I will tell you what to say, when to say it, how to say it. I've got the ebooks, I've got everything you want. And right here, I'm going to go ahead and just put some stuff on here. So, yeah, guys, let's go ahead and talk about how we make money from home. And if you're looking for ways to make money for the holidays, I have got you. Feel free to drop your questions down below. So I have been a PSO now myself for 17 years. I've been a PSO for 17 years and I freaking love it. I love it because, in addition to that, I've also been a full time school teacher. I was a teacher. Hey there, welcome. Feel free to drop your questions down below. And when I would get home, I would get, whatever done. Sometimes I'd be at home during the weekends or a couple of hours here and there late night. I would log on. I would have fun on here, and it was anonymous. I did have model pictures. I've never put my own pictures out there, guys. And I would get calls and I would get money. And again, doing it from home on my cell phone, I didn't have to buy any extra lines. I didn't have to do anything because I already have the internet. So if you've got a cell phone with some internet, you're ready to go with everything you need to be a phone sex operator. As you can see, my model here has a little headset. I was asked recently, do you need a headset to be a PSO? Is that necessary? No, it is not, y'all. So that would be one question. The equipment that you need, right? So what is the equipment? Literally a phone. That's it. As long as your phone connects to the internet, which, most of them do, that's all you freaking need. You do not need anything else. Most of y'all already have a phone. I'm going to bet that most of y'all are listening or watching this on your phone. So you're good to go. Then the only thing that you need after that is going to be make sure you are 18. And once, you got that taken care of, you got to be 18 years old. I don't think I need to say it, but I will just in case you're 18 years old or older, then you can go to the different websites. I do have a lot of different videos on here too. Feel free to check out my videos where I do mention some of the websites that I like. And now there's a lot of websites that I like. Um, but I talk about some of my favorite ones. Some of my favorite ones are going to be Night Flirt, Sin Cats, and Talk to Me and Pillow Whisper as well. So I talk a lot about the top three that I just mentioned: Sin Cats, Talk to Me, and Night Flirt on this page. And I do have a breakdown of the next question that I was going to talk about. How do you get paid as a PSO? How do you get paid? You get paid per talk minute. So per talk minute, you are going to choose your amount that you want to charge per minute. And let's say that you decide to charge 150 a minute. So from 150 a minute, some sites are going to pay you a percentage of either 70%, 35%, 50%. So let's say that you decide to charge 150 a minute. That is what your caller is going to pay. You are going to make, let's say, 70%. And I want to say that that is going to be 126. So you're roughly making about 126 per minute. So if you are talking to somebody for, let's say, 10 minutes, which is a very, very low call, definitely not a goal, but not horrible, especially if you're new. Um, that right there would make you, let's see, 1260. So you would be getting essentially and roughly what most places pay as minimum wage on a 10-minute call. And as I'm saying, call, my phone starts ringing. So, anyways, guys, that is what I want you to focus on. That is how we get paid. We get paid per minute talk time. Now, are you on the phone every single second that you are logged in? And again, you can pick when you're going to get logged in, when you decide to join, all of that. No, you're not necessarily on the phone every single minute, but that doesn't mean that you cannot be productive, both around your house and, on the phones. So I actually teach you and I train you in my different ebooks, which are listed in the store, guys, and also linked down in the description, exactly what to do to get more callers, to make sure that you are actually calling, getting calls when you're logged on. So if you're going to be logged on for 4 hours, I want you to be logged on and actually taking calls, getting your per minute talk time for about 3 to 3.5 hours. I don't want you to be sitting around waiting for calls. Now, there are ways to minimize that. It does take a little bit of time to build. It's not like you're going to jump in today and suddenly get a bunch of calls. Now, I do have a video where I talk about talktome.com and some tips that will get you talking to people within a week of getting on the site. If you're interested in that, please make sure you go watch that, because that right there is one of the fastest ways to get going. Now, in my trainings, I do have trainings where I meet with people one-on-one and I help them, if they're already a PSO, I help them look at what it is they have. How can we make it better? Okay. Do you need to make a little tweak? So about 2.5 weeks ago, and I have posted some of her reviews and how she's doing on this page as well. So feel free to check those out, guys. I met with a girl named Krista. Krista's been a PSO for 8 years. So she had a couple of accounts already. She had some stuff going on. She's also done cam, but she was like, and she's phenomenal at that. But she was like, I just need a little bit of help with my phone sex accounts. I just need a little bit of guidance as far as what can I do better. And that was awesome that she was willing to do that. So we had one session and I looked at her accounts. We tweaked a couple of things. I gave her a couple of tips and I said, do this, this, and this, or try this instead of that, or see how this works out. And she's been doing amazing. I'm so surprised with her. And super happy and proud of her because she's just taken it and run with it. And she actually sent me the next day. She said she did really good. She got had about, I think off the top of my head, it was like a $200 day the following day. And then she started ranking on two different sites on the top spots of those sites, both organically and through paid per click options. And the thing is, too, when we started, on the website on Night Flirt where she can do the pay per click option, she was having to pay $3.36 per click to get to the number one spot. After we adjusted and fixed her actual profile and changed it up, that the way we worded it, the way we set it up actually helped her rank a little bit better. And then she also started attracting more callers and getting more callers to the point where the next day her click per rate minute was $1.12. So it went from 336 per click that she was going to have to pay out of her earnings and whatnot to $1.26 or $1.12, right? I think it was $1.12. But either way, guys, that's more money in her pocket per caller. And that's freaking awesome. And she's doing amazing. So if you want to do like that, if you already have a little bit of phone sex experience or you already have your profiles and you're interested in how can I get this going? How can I start making more money? Because I do not want y'all sitting around logged in for 4 hours and on the phone for a total of 1 hour. And then the rest of the time you're sitting there waiting on calls, waiting on customers, hoping and praying that the phone would ring. No. Today, guys, I'm going to tell y'all, I logged on for about 4 hours and 10 minutes in, I got on a call and I got an hour and 29-minute call. So I was like an hour and a half on the phone. And I'd only been logged on for a little over an hour and a half because I swear I logged on, I waited for like 10 minutes, and then I got an hour and a half long call. 10 minutes after that, my phone rang from another profile, and it was another 35-minute long call. And then after that, I think I had about 15 minutes where I was off of the phone, and then I had another 42-minute long call. Today, I said my goal is going to be $500 on calls. And I actually did not make the goal, but I did make $432 today in a little over 4 hours, like 4.5 hours. And that's because I was on the phone calls nonstop for the majority of my shift. And also, I did get tipped. And also, I did sell 2 goodie bags today to one of the people who did call me. He was a brand new caller, and I was like, hey, well, I got goodie bags for this and I got goodie bags for that. Check them out. And then the next thing I know, I logged on and I had about 45 more dollars in my account because that caller I mentioned the goodie bags to went ahead and bought 2 of them. So, guys, can you make money with phone sex? Yes. Can you make good money with phone sex? Yes. Today, like I said on a Sunday when there's like football being played and stuff, guys, I said I'm going to make $500. Did I make it right now? No, a little bit short of that. Am I sad about that? Not even a little bit because I haven't gone out of my house. I didn't really get ready to go to the office or anything like that. I didn't sit in traffic. I stayed at home and I was on my phone all day and I still made that kind of money. And yes, guys, you can do it too. I can help you if you're interested in learning how I do this pretty much consistently. I go ahead and sign up with me. So this right here, that is where you'll go. You will be able to check out what all is available in my store. I will link it down in the description. You can go ahead and sign up for some one-on-one trainings. I have 3 options for my one-on-one training packages. And then I also have a ton of ebooks that will help guide you through it. If you're like, I just want to do it by myself, I don't really need the trainings, awesome. Check out the ebooks. Check out my ebook bundle. You'll get all 9 ebooks, 2 of which are not phone sex related, but they do have other types of side hustles. Um, and you'll get all of that bit of information, guys. Okay, so feel free to check it out. Go down there and check it out in the description. Let's see what other types of questions I can help y'all with and what else I can answer on here. Because that's what I'm here for. I'm here to help you make money, especially the holiday season, right? Holiday season is coming up, y'all. I know we all want a little bit of extra money. A lot of us are thinking about, should I Uber? Should I do what is the other one? Flavor or Favor or whatever. It's essentially the same thing. So do we still exist in 2025? Yes, we are alive and kicking. Phone sex is alive and kicking. It is an amazing industry and it's fun. It is so much fun. Okay, so all right, so let's talk about this. Let's talk about being an independent PSO versus being with the companies and what that means. So, if you are an independent PSO, you basically work for yourself. And yes, you can work for yourself, which means for the most part, promotions, advertising, all of that, that is on you. And it's really worth it, guys, because you also set your own schedule. And I'm a PSO who's done both. In a minute, I'll tell y'all. So you set your own schedule. You get to decide when you will, when you won't log on. If you had already told yourself, I'm going to log on for 4 hours Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and on Tuesday you suddenly get a phone call, a friend's in from out of town or whatever, you want to go have dinner, you want to go have lunch, or you just don't feel well, that's okay. You can log off, and Wednesday you make it up. You just make up those hours, right? So independent PSOs, and yes, y'all, you are going to be 1099. And honestly, most companies, even if you're not independent as a PSO, you're going to get 1099, which means that taxes and all of that are on you. And that'll be another video coming up, guys, because I actually did do taxes for about 6 years myself. And I know all about taxes when you are 1099, when you are independent, when you are your own boss. So technically, you are the boss here. You are the boss babe or boss man, whatever. Because we do have our male PSOs and we love y'all. I'll say boss man, boss babe. That would be totally you. Now, if you go with a company, you can also do that. You can work with a company. And honestly, guys, I've had mixed reviews about this, where I've had two different companies I've worked with. One of them was really great. This is where I started. And I did with them for many years, but you do. And with both of the ones that I had, I did have an hourly schedule. So I definitely had to commit to my hourly schedule. One of them really sucked because they assigned me a schedule. And I totally realized I misspelled that, but there's my C, there's my H. That is a D, y'all. Forgive my crappy writing right there. But anyways, when you're a company PSO, you do have a hourly schedule. They expect you to commit to a given schedule. Sometimes you have to promote yourself too. One company that I worked with totally did it all by themselves. They only expected me to stick to my hourly schedule, log on, take your phone calls during this time to that time. You're going to get your hourly rate. They used to pay me, I believe it was about $13 an hour. At the time, I didn't know better. I didn't know that I could literally make that fucking $13 in 10 minutes of talking to somebody. Yeah. So they paid me $13 an hour, but I didn't know about being independent. So, in my opinion, is being independent versus being with the company better? I think overall being independent is better. Now, if you're totally brand new, if you want to stick with the company, and feel free to drop a comment or two, guys, in the chat, those of you that are watching, or in the comments if you are experienced or if you're thinking about it, if you've got questions, guys, and you're rewatching this, what has been your experience with a company versus being totally independent? Being totally independent, this is going to be like what I explain in this video. Going on Night Flirt, going on Talk to Me, Sin Cats, and many, and all of these other companies where you set up your profile. It is you personally, and you're going to be 1099. You set up your schedule for yourself, by yourself. You're the boss babe, the boss man. That is what being independent is, versus the company where it's going to be, let's say if I started my own company, it would be Phone Sex Dollhouse. And I'm going to tell y'all, okay, so you're going to get $15 an hour. And I want you to work from this hour to that hour, just like a boss, right? You are going to be from home. And I can then go ahead and say, I'm going to do the promotions 100%. Um, but sometimes I may need you to write the blog, which is what my company number two said. So I had one company that I worked at for a couple of years. That was who started me and who actually helped me get going. And we mostly did it texting. So we did sexting a lot, and that is what I dedicated myself to. Eventually, they opened up phone lines, and that's who I started doing phone sex with. But I was with this original company. And I'll just call it talk service. So talk service was awesome. They paid me weekly. They paid me per text message that I sent, and I got to work at home. I started with them when I was back in college, and then eventually they asked me, "Do you want to do phone sex?" And I was like, sure, why not? I'll try it. So we did it. And honestly, I was so scared the first time I did it, guys, and I'll never forget the topic um that the conversation was, which I can't quite mention on here, but if we get on a private chat, if we do a training and stuff, definitely I will share the story with y'all. The call lasted 4 minutes, and I was like, okay, I'm done. I never want to do that again, whatever. And the manager was like, okay, that's fine. And that's another thing. They are listening to your calls to make sure that you are being compliant. So as an independent PSO, you are not being listened to. On a company PSO, as a company PSO, you'll have like a moderator that will be literally on silent on the other side of the call. You and your caller are talking about whatever you're having fun about, and somebody will be listening in. So, since it was my first call, they did tell me, not a problem. We'll be on there. We're going to be listening. And just so you know, we do have the ability to listen in and pop in whenever we want to. And a lot of the times you don't know when you're a company PSO that you have somebody listening to you and your caller, because they don't literally tell you. They just say, hey, we can pop in, we'll listen in here and there, and whatever. So as soon as the man hung up, I was like, "Oh my god, I never want to do that again. That was so weird." Because of his given topic. And then she goes, "Okay, cool. Well, that's totally fine. You can stay with the sexting. And by the way, you made $9." I was like, "Wait a minute, 4 minute call. I made $9. Let me try it again." And I'm so glad that I stuck it out. One cool thing about the companies is that they usually do have somebody that can help you and that will train you and stuff like that. And then given the environment, given the people, I can't guarantee that, because my first company was amazing. And my second company, more recently, before I went fully and totally independent the way I am now, was not like this. So they were catty, and they were a little bit, not trying to give you the right tips that you should get, not trying to give you the right guidance type of thing. You know how that is, y'all. I don't think I have to really go in there and explain too much into that. Just depending on the other people within the company will depend what kind of training, advice, and help you get. So if you are with a great group of people, then obviously you're going to get the type of support that is actually helpful. And if you're not with the right type of company, the right type of people there, then you're not going to get any help or support, and you're just not going to make money and not going to do well. So that is one thing. Going back to my promotion or promoting, when you're with the company one for me did 100% of it. I didn't have to worry about it. I never like worried, and we always had a lot of people to sext with. I always had a lot of people to talk to. Company number two, this was again a couple years ago, they wanted me to do a blog a week. And then when I wrote the blog, I would email it to them so they can post it on their websites, and they would chop it up. They would edit until it didn't even look like my actual blog. And not to like toot my own horn or whatever, but I'm a pretty good writer. So, anyways, I'd be like, my blog isn't the same. What do you mean you fixed it? So, whatever, right? I think a lot of us would probably feel that way, but I really do think that they do not. I really do think that they didn't leave it as good as it originally was. All right. So, anyways, I would do one blog a week. I would have to get on these websites. I would have to promote their company website through my social medias for my character. So, I did some promotions. Promoting could be 50-50. And in my opinion, if you're going to be with the company who's going to ask you to promote, put social media, put this and that, do this every hour, a blog a week, all that, you might as well go independent and do that all for yourself so that you can actually keep control of your hours and actually make more money. Because I promise y'all, independent is where you'll make this type of money. Here, they're probably going to give you an hourly salary or give you a very small chunk of that 150 a minute or whatever it is that they're charging the callers. So totally up to you guys, but those are two different types of scenarios that you could do as far as when you're working as a PSO. So feel free, because this is a big topic and this is something I do get asked about. So if you have experience in either of these types of scenarios, whether you work with a company right now or have in the past, or whether you're independent or have done both or whatnot, or if you're thinking about doing one or the other, go ahead and drop your experiences, please, and your comments down in the chat, so that we can talk about them and we can start getting the right type of information out here to help everybody. Because this is about helping each other, this is about growing. And again, guys, I really want to foster the right type of community. I don't want to be with that negativity like we have experienced. And I've talked to a lot of other PSOs, and I know that it's out there. I know that there are people who aren't out here to give us the best advice, aren't out here to help each other out. And I want to foster the opposite. So feel free to drop your comments down below, guys, and your questions as well, and I will get to them. And again, if you would like some training, if you would like a review of your profile, if you want to know what to say in a call, how to extend your calls, I help you with all of those things. So feel free to drop it down below, guys. So I help people with everything, right? How do you create your characters? How do you get some pretty models? Of course, I'm not putting cartoons out there, but honestly, I feel like if we did an account with the model like this or some of my other girls on here, I think it would be awesome. I think it would do so good, honestly, because I love it. I love these models. My little cartoon girls are really pretty. Like there's another one, and y'all can check out my shorts. Y'all can check out my videos. I have several of them. And y'all can go here as well to get all of the ebooks I'm talking about, all of the information, my trainings as well. And they are down in the description. And of course, like I said, drop your questions down below. But if you need to figure out how can you get some models and get the paperwork and get the images and stuff, because here's another thing about working with the company. Sometimes they're going to say, like, here are these 5 or 10 pictures of this model. You can use it. They set up the profile for you. They have all of that. But they don't give you the actual legal paperwork you need. If you end up leaving this company and you want to take your model with you, you can't do that unless you have the correct paperwork. Company number one, they always set everything up for me. I didn't continue beyond that point back then. There was a time I was not a PSO after that. I came back to company number two. Now, I got lucky because company number two said, we just had a PSO quit on us. You can take over her model. Pay us the $30 and we'll give you your model's pictures, videos, all of that, and the legal paperwork, the 2257 or 2252, I believe it's 2257 paperwork, so you can use her elsewhere or for promotions or whatever in case you need it. And they did tell me up front, go ahead and pay us the $30, you get the images, whatever. And then they gave me the website. If you want to buy more pictures of this model, this is where to go so you can build your library up. I got lucky because the people that I worked with in my second company who asked me to do that were upfront about it. I've spoken to so many girls in training and helping them where companies that they've worked at have been like, here's 5 pictures of this model. But then when they quit or they leave, if they want to keep using that model, they can't because they don't have that actual 2257 paperwork. I've actually helped PSOs I've worked with in that situation, like, oh, I don't know who this girl is. I don't know what her name is. And I don't have her pictures or whatever. I can't create it. Okay, cool. Here's this website. Check it out. Ask them and see if you can find her. And I've actually helped people find their model like that and be able to go in, buy a new set for like 30 bucks. Another crazy thing, buying model pictures, I've heard and I've seen people spend 3 to 500 per set. Craziness. I have a website, guys. Again, feel free to set up a time for the training. We'll talk about all of that. I'll give you the websites, I'll give you everything. They will give you like packs of 100 or 200 images. Sometimes, if we're lucky, depending on the set, there may be a video for 30 to 50 bucks. And if you wanted those details, that information, or if you're in the market for some new models, feel free to set up a time to chat with me, guys, and I will give you all of those details. All right. Um, so yeah, so that is one thing that's important, guys. And another thing too, when it comes to being a company PSO versus an independent PSO. So drop your questions down below, everybody. Just let me know, what are you thinking about? Drop them into the comments as well. and and yeah, and we will definitely talk about it, guys. But again, my name is Diandra. I am going to have to jump off of here soon. And if y'all have any questions or y'all want to know anything about becoming a PSO, I will be around. I will be going live pretty much. I'm going to commit to Sunday evenings. I can't necessarily commit to the given exact time just because of craziness. And y'all know what that is like, running around trying to figure stuff out, trying to get ready for the week. But make sure you follow me. Make sure y'all subscribe. Make sure that you hit the little bell so you can come into my next live, interact with me, come ask me questions. I love when people are on here chatting with me, asking questions so that we can talk about being a PSO. We can talk about how you can make money online, how to make those calls last longer, how to get your model pictures, how to create your profiles, all of those fun things, guys. So drop your comments down below. If you're interested in the trainings, if you're interested in the books, if you're interested in any of it, feel free to go down here. They're also down in the description. And with that, I'm just going to say good night and good afternoon, wherever you're at, whatever time you're watching this. I hope you have a good day.